Assalamu alaikum. Suleiman Rahim here. Welcome. Critical Analytics. Suleiman Rahim, the Master of the Covenant, Breaker of the Seven Seals. Come to you with another session of War Talk. And we're going to talk about these demons. All these demons. Before you heard this, you didn't know what a demon was. Something in the spiritual realm. See? Like everything else in the spiritual realm that no one can see, no one can touch, no one knows where it is, right? It's beyond our senses, right? Only way we can communicate is through prayer. So they're telling you. That's what they're telling you. Except for those that have special sensory perception, because they can communicate with the angels and the demons and Holy Spirit and Holy Spirit. Think about that. Holy Spirit. Everything's a spirit or a spook. Yet you're supposed to believe in it with all your heart, your soul, your mind. Something that cannot be proven in any kind of way. There's no way they can prove it. None whatsoever. And there's so much going on, and you have no idea, brothers and sisters. Like it says in Revelation, you do not know the depths of Satan. What they're doing full time, preparing for your destruction. They have a backup plan in case you get away, right? That you won't get very far. And none of you are paying attention. You're not paying attention because they make sure you don't pay attention to this. Because this is all about the Abrahamic covenant. It's all about the Abrahamic covenant. It's all about the Abrahamic covenant. And they make sure you don't know that. They make sure that you never know that. And if you awaken to it, they have plans to put you fast asleep. They made sure they put Martin Luther King to sleep quick as soon as he mentioned it. The Promised Land. What do you think the Promised Land speech was about? The Promised Land is the promise of the Abrahamic covenant that you'll be returned, right, to your own land. That's the promise. It's what I call the Promised Land. A land is promised to you. They warned him not to give that speech. They warned him very directly, do not give that speech. He went to Elijah Muhammad. Elijah Muhammad brought up to speed on this, on what was that, what Abrahamic covenant was all about. He's supposed to be a preacher. He might not even known about it, because they either make sure you don't know about it, or if you do know about it, they make sure you keep to yourself, or you are non-existent, or you cannot talk about it anymore. So he gave the speech anyway, and the next day he was dead. Okay. Remember Muhammad Ali? Such a powerful speaker, powerful representative of Elijah Muhammad that rocked the world, caught the youth imagination. Suddenly the man can't speak anymore. Suddenly he's incoherent. Out of nowhere. See? And then they finally bought him out. Had to make that stupid movie about Ali, which he knew. They say he endorsed it. I don't know if he's broke or what, because he had a lot of credibility. I mean, Muhammad Ali had a lot of credibility with me and everyone. And then he just, at the end, they said movie Ali, he approved that movie. Anyone that was there during that time knew that it was a total lie. It didn't happen that way. Why he approved that? If he did, in fact, approve it, was down on his luck, needed money, I don't know what. And then they have him at the end, right? Participating in the Olympics, all that kind of stuff. That's the image they wanted. See, they got to him. Like they got to Malcolm. It was easy to get to Farrakhan. He's a coward. He's always been a coward. Easy to get to him. There was no issue getting to him. Because he's a demon. The other two weren't demons as far as I know, but he's a demon. So easy to get to him. See? So you think all these things are coincidences? No, they're not. See? It tells you the greatest fear, right, is that if a war broke out, you as a nation would join with their enemies against them, fight against them, and then flee from the country. Now, if that's their greatest fear, and that's what, that's the greatest fear they prepare for. How would they prepare for that? They said one of the things they did to make sure they kept the numbers down, they tell you directly, abort you. They abort all the children. That was their first, getting that, nip it in the bud. And then, right, throw them in the river. If you understand the AL-INJIL, that means throw them into this war they're planning. See, have all these Negroes running around. Oh, well, we're Americans, we're going to fight for America. And send them against that 200 million man army that's coming this way. Throw them in the river. You have to understand the AL-INJIL to understand what that means. And they make sure you never understand that. Because for you to understand the AL-INJIL, that would be case closed for them. Door shut. There are all these plans. See, before they can implement that plan on throwing you in the river, see, it says that time, that wasn't ready. See, they want this war. But they don't want a nuclear war right away. They want a conventional war. Nuclear war is down the line. See, that's a whole other, that's that mechanical, electronic vision that they're working on. They haven't got there yet. But they want now, as a result of 2020, right, the plague, because they know the Abrahamic covenant, they knew exactly what that meant. 1619 to 2019, the plague that would kill, that would be our enslavement and affliction. In 2020, 1619 to 2019, right, it's 40 years. 2020 would be a plague that would kill the firstborn. That means the elderly would pass over us. We have documentation show it is passing over the original people. They're hiding that also. So they know that. And so you never seen, if you think, they got your mind so focused on this plague that you're missing all the stuff, the ambiance that's around it. See? You're interested in music, you're not paying attention to the lyrics. They got you so engrossed in the music that you're not paying attention to the lyrics. And here it is, they got you singing a song, kill that nigga, kill that nigga. And your name, right? Kill that nigga, Jesse Jameson. You saying it. Kill that nigga. They're talking about killing you. They got you so hung up in the music that you're not paying attention to the lyrics. See? So you ought to play, but what's going around, sound around it? They're not telling you that it's not affecting Africa. We got the evidence, we got the proof it's not. It wasn't affecting Haiti. And they killed the president to force the vaccine. Why are they forcing the vaccine on a country that didn't need it? Why are they forcing Africa when Africa doesn't even need it? See? They said 6% of Africa, right, is vaccinated. And they're not being affected at all. They're virtually unaffected by it. And I made an error last time I talked about this because I had my decimal points in the wrong place. I kept saying 0.006, 0.0. No, it's the other way around. 6% of 100 is 6. 60% of 1,000. 6% of 1,000 is 60%. Let me say that right. 60% of 1,000 is 60. 6% of 100 is 6. 6% of 1,000, right, is 60. 6% of 100,000 is 600. 6% of a million, right, is 600. I believe I got that right. So it's a very small amount. that's even vaccinated. And yet they're not suffering from the virus. They don't need vaccination at all. The vaccination they're getting is being forced upon them. They don't need it. But that's not world news. That should be, if all the nations, remember when Ebola was tearing Africa apart, right? That was world news. She wasn't messing America, but it's messing. That was world news. Every time you look around, it's like Ebola. But now the fact is, it's not affecting Africa. This plague that's affecting, pandemic that's affecting the whole world. You don't hear zip, nothing. Crickets, nothing. Why? Because they don't want you to know that. But so for some reason, all the blacks in the world are unaffected. The real blacks, not talking about the demons. But we catching hell over here. They're wiping out blacks over here. And that's a lie. Because I've had it, and I'm 72 years old. Right? I still got a little intermittent cough now and then, but it didn't take me down. I didn't have to stay in the bed. I didn't have to go to the doctor. I didn't have to take any medication. Right? I kept going to the gym, everything I was doing. Right? Worst case I had was a cough. A couple of times I thought I was, I was out of breath a little bit now and then, but I still, not enough to slow me down because I still did my exercise, all that kind of stuff. And, I was a little, caught, a little out of breath a little bit. That was it. And I think that was the second time. I think I caught it twice, actually. Because it's a big lie. 1619 to 2019, for 1 year, 2020 be a plague that would kill the firstborn. That's the elderly. That's the prophecy. That's exactly what happened. And you know that since 220 came in, this whole world has changed. The whole world has changed dramatically. And they try to say it's because of this plague. No, that's the music. You're not paying attention to the lyrics. All the other stuff that's coming up as a result. They're talking about that you're missing because you're concentrating on what's going on with this so-called pandemic. Why are they forcing it on you? You don't need it. Why are they saying, why not tell you that blacks are not being affected by it? Why not tell you those things? See, those are the lyrics. See, all of a sudden, right, they want to do so much for black people. Defund the police. See, all of a sudden you can't watch a commercial into marriage or whatever. Mixed marriages, mixed relationships, all over the place. See, you're not paying attention to the lyrics. You're just paying attention to the music. And then they got all these rappers out here. See, they're all demons. Let me show you this right quick, then we'll come back. Hold on. Look at this. Now, Jay-Z, they say he's a billionaire rapper. Now you got our youth all wrapped up. You got our youth all wrapped up. They buying his records, everything else. They all, he's got their mind, right? Sean Corey Carter. Now he's all that money. Why? All that money, right? Why is he still talking around with Master's brand? Why does he still walk around Master's brand? See? Because those last names were not your last names. I keep telling you that. They were not your last names. They were not your there was Master's brand on you. So if your name was Sean, right? See, then your name, then if you was owned by Master Carter, then they would call you Sean Carter. So they would know that you was owned by Master Carter. So anywhere you went, what's your name, boy? My name is Sean Carter. Oh, you belong to Master Carter. What you doing here, boy? The Master Carter said you. Oh, I'm doing what Master asked me to do. See, and then if Master got mad at you and sold you to Master Jameson, your name then became Sean Jameson. It was not your surname. Now all these Negroes talking about they give all this wisdom. They can't figure that out. Why would you want to carry the brand of your oppressor that you know they claim they so wise, they so enlightened, they know about the history? How come they don't understand that? Because they're demons, because that is their real name. Because if you got that name because Master your father, that is your real name. That's why not change it. That's one way to recognize a demon right away, because they still hold on to that. Because if you was an original person and you claim you got knowledge, you would have nothing to do with that name. You would be able to do it. You wouldn't have that name or anything. You would be associated with that name at all under any circumstances. You would not be associated with that name under any circumstances. See, you don't see me. I'm associated with that name that my father had changed his, and I'm not associated, even when he changed it, I'm not associated with it in any way, or no documentation, anything. No way they connect me to that name. Unless they just try to do facetiously, go out and try to find out my birth certificate or whatever they try to do, right? I got rid of that damn thing once I understood what it was, because it's not your surname, but it's their surname. That's why they keeping it. KRS, he's on there, come on. He won't explain what nigga mean, and he's as dumb as hell. Because first of all, what he's saying is totally wrong. They was talking about the country Niger. So you don't know there's a country out there in Africa called Niger, Niger. That's the one they talk about in the Bible. Oh, well, he gonna break it down. Oh, yeah, go on, teach, bro. He's a dummy. He's stupid, but he's a rapper. He's popular, and the kids listen to him. That's why they walk around with no pants off their ass. Hair braid up. That's not African. Should go in Africa and show me the brothers over in Africa, they got their hair braids. Show me one. They don't do it over there. And now they're walking around, right, with slippers on. And they don't even know where that came from. See, because the police got tired of chasing these Negroes. So they had some rapper put out some style where they would walk around with slippers on. Now they ain't gonna run too fast with slippers on. You know, it's so stupid. Because these damn demons, Snoop Dogg, all of them. I know, you like them. Yeah, okay, you like them. If you like them, you probably maybe a demon yourself. Because you pay attention to the music, you ain't listening to the lyrics. What's driving this? What's going in the background? Anyone understand will try to tell you something that's consequential. Like I'm not endorsing endorsing Tupac, right? But he was trying to come out with some informational, and where he going now? Remember Sister Soldier, right? There's this her, and no person anything. This sister, she's out there trying to educate the brothers with the truth, trying to educate the brothers with the truth. Some of you too young to remember her, right? And then Bill Clinton ran for president. He on public TV, that young black sister, and not one black voice said a damn thing. This that knocked her right off the charts. Sister Soldier. See. Now I'm not saying when she was went about the money or whatever, but the point is she was saying things that they wouldn't like to be said. So they did Professor Griff. See, they knock him out. But the ones that sell this BS like Nas and all them, oh, they love them. They keep them going because their whole purpose is to keep you stupid. And don't say you're not stupid because we are all stupid. Because they made us stupid. And if you don't have knowledge yourself, you're stupid. Because you're out there voting for the Democratic Party, ain't you? And they're aborting your children. Why would you vote for somebody that's aborting your children? And you don't understand what that's about. See? So let's go ahead and listen. I'm going to go back to, Snoop Dogg. Look at his name, Cadoza, Brothers. They got plenty of money. They got plenty of money. They're millionaires. Somebody said some of them billionaires. So why are they holding on to those names? Then you got Nasser bin Al-Dara Jones. Now if that's some dumbass shit right there, right? That's like mixing shit with honey. I don't care how much honey you put in, how much honey there is. You don't care how little shit you put in. You wouldn't want it. You wouldn't want it. Or maybe it could be a ton of honey and just an ounce of shit. You still would not eat it. At least maybe some of you might would. If you eat chitlins, you'd eat that too. Mixing shit with honey. Nasser bin Al-Dara Jones. And then he one of those broke risk dudes. And Lil Wayne, Dwayne Michael Carter. See? Why they hold on those names? If they so wise, so understanding, why would you want to hold on that name if you know it's branded with it? Because it did not denote your surname, your ancestry. Your surname should denote your ancestry. That's what your surname does. Your line, right? Your ancestry line, descendancy. So you can track back, so you know what line you came from. That's what your surname means. That's not what it means here. Here it means ownership. And it changed when you went from one owner to another. So that means, if you're saying that, that means your line is the line of Jones, line of Massa. If you hold on to that, that means your line is the line of Jones. And when you walk if you walk up to the judgment, and you're going to be walking to judgment in a few more days, they're going to ask you. We ain't gonna want to hear your Facebook name. We don't want to hear your public name, your performance name, or whatever name you. No, we don't want to know what the name that you officially going by. That's the name we're gonna go by. And if it's one of those names, then we're gonna give you back to Massa. That's pure and simple. What it says in Mark, it says they was given to go back to who they wanted to go back to their swine daddies. We're gonna give you back to their swine daddies. Because that's who owns you. If you walk into judgment like that, you're saying that you're owned by Massa and you're going to be given back to Massa. That's not talking about the brothers and sisters that not have heard this message. See? Because they've been given a chance to get rid of that name immediately. They haven't heard this message. See? But this covenant knows that heard Elijah's message because he gave the same message. He told you to get rid of those names. He told you. He warned you. He warned you. He said, get rid of those names. Let me get this back straight here. He warned you to get rid of those names. He warned you. And I've been warning you. So they have plenty of money. They could have got rid of those names easily. But they're saying that they are Massa's children. They're demons. See? Period. Pure and simple. And they walk in, right? They walk up and they have those names, right? We're going to send you, we're not going to hear your conversation. See? Well, oh man, I don't hear but your Facebook name. Your Instagram name, your Twitter name. No, because see, we want to know the name that you have. Oh, well, I didn't want to ask Master to change my name. Yeah, that is a problem. See, because they fixed the law, so you have to go and ask them. See, but it's better to go ahead and do that. It's not at all, because see, you don't want to change your name for a lot of reasons. Because you don't want to tell Master, you don't want Master to know you want Master to call you by the name that he gave you. Because you're afraid you lose your job. You're afraid Master going to throw you back in the field. That's why you're doing it. If you're not a demon. And that's the whole story about Moses, right? He built that brass serpent in the desert, in the wilderness. Because those that wouldn't listen to him, they kept complaining that the serpents was after them. That's the Christians, right? And they was afraid. They kept kicking. And so they wanted to go and say, I'm a Christian just like you. So he gave them a pole, which is a cross, and put a brass serpent on it, which if you understand Daniel, that's a Jew. That's the cross, right? Because Jesus is supposed to be the Jew. He's on a stick. And they say, if you worship that, if you look up at that, right, then they won't bother anymore. So they say, I'm a Christian, see, my name is Christopher, right? Christopher Jack Smith, see? And so they know they own you. When you go in there and say, my name is Jesse Jefferson, that means you tell them you own you still with them. You still part of their slave. That's what you tell them. That's why you're doing it. And so therefore you're going to pay the price for it. Those you doing it ignorance, you're going to have a chance. You will give a chance to get rid of it. In a few more days, they have not heard this message, have not heard Elijah Muhammad's message. Because there are a lot of you because they're blocking it. The demons are blocking it. They want to tell all this hip stuff. How come they can't tell you that fundamental thing right there? How come they talk about that? How come they're not talking about the Abrahamic covenant? Why not talking about that? Why is they silent about that? That's what you have to ask yourself. Why is so silent about the Abrahamic covenant? That we will be strangers and we're sojourn. That means temporary. You got Lion Farrakhan, he's the chief demon. He says, who are you? My name is Legion, Louis Eugene Grounds of the NOI backwards. He can go and change that last name all he wants. I don't give a damn because he's a liar. His mother's name was Grounds. He wasn't married when his devil father raped her. So technically, right, when he was born, he would have to take his mother's last name, which was Grounds, Sarah Mae Grounds. They could change it, twist it, because they did. Initially, when I went and did research and I found that, that's the way it was. But now you go there now, they don't switch that around, but now the Sarah Mae Grounds is some woman in Texas, some white woman in Texas, and now they say, well, her name was Sarah Mae something else. See? So now his name is still Louis Eugene, NOI backwards. There's that G there. They're trying to, eliminate that. See? They're trying to eliminate that part. Hold on, brothers and sisters. Okay. Hold on, here we got a little technical problem here again. They're always doing this. So hold on, brothers and sisters. I'll handle it. Okay, brothers and sisters, they really got a little technical glitch here. I have to fix it in a minute. This happens often when I seem to be hitting some home runs. Okay, here we go. Oops. Here we go. Okay. How this works. Okay, as I believe I was saying, No one's talking about the Abrahamic covenant. No one. Why? And that's what it's all about. Your return. Who you be and who you are. That's causing all the turmoil over in the Middle East, because you got someone pretend to be us. But that scripture is very clear. Farrakhan's lying to you. Oh, well, he don't. If he talks about it, he plays game with it like it's a joke. Yeah, but we ain't going nowhere. The Atlantic Ocean's not going to split open, and we're going to walk through. No, it's not. See, but he's lying to you, because he's supposed to be representing Elijah Muhammad. He is not representing Elijah Muhammad. You don't have to take my word for it. Just go and look at the lessons. If he Elijah Muhammad represented the lessons that Master Prophet Muhammad gave. He was the messenger of Master Prophet Muhammad. And so you have the lessons that he taught from. Now go and look at those lessons and compare it to what Farrakhan's teaching, and there's no consistency, no comparison whatsoever. None. None. He wants to redeem the devils. Let's say that cannot happen. And we gave up on even trying to have it. We're just going to eliminate all of them. But he's going to redeem them. He's going to redeem America. See? It says, we will not return. Return, that means go back to where you came from, to have thorough knowledge of self. We say, we ain't going anywhere. We're going to inherit America. But they said America's the worst part of the planet Earth. Right? It says Arabia is the best part of planet Earth that we reserve for ourselves. If you reserve, that means you plan on returning to it. He's a total liar. He's a demon. And even just the mathematics, it's easy to not be deceived by Legion, Louis Eugene Grounds, NY backwards. See, they don't play a game that G fine. See, they can't miss that Louis Eugene. You still got that part. And still got NY turned backwards. So you want to play around with the G in the middle? Fine. That's up to you. But what about all other things? Just read the lessons. He's not precepting those lessons. Not at all. None of them. But he says he's taking this and representing Elijah Muhammad, which is a total lie. None he says is supported. Devils ain't devils anymore. I was present in his theology of time, Elijah Muhammad said, and if you want, I'll dig it up, right? Elijah Muhammad said, he made it very clear, I have not given any minister any private information. He said, right out of his mouth, I was within 10 feet of him when he said it. But yet Farrakhan got this private thing he told, I don't want you to call devils anymore. Well, wouldn't he have told all his ministers that? I mean, why would he just want Farrakhan not do it when all the ministers doing it? Wouldn't he have told that to all his ministers? Think about it. Okay, I don't want you to call devils anymore. You're my national spokesman, right? I got ministers all over the country, in every state. I didn't tell them, and they still like to call everybody devils. See, because you believe this stuff, because most of you are demons anyway, and the rest you're just idiots. Because it's nothing that support anything that liar is talking about. Nothing. He's a chief demon. There's nothing to support what he's talking about. If you read Exodus, right there, that kills him. Because first came God, he raised Elijah, right, his messenger, right? He didn't raise Aaron. Moses or Elijah insisted on the spokesman. God said you don't need one. He became angry. It says it. He became very angry at Moses for even asking for one. He says you don't need one. But Moses insisted. Said, okay, I'll give you Aaron, a spokesman. So he was not anointed by Master Prophet Muhammad. He wasn't even wanted by Master Prophet Muhammad. It was Elijah Muhammad that insisted. And was against everything Master Prophet Muhammad was about. He said you don't need him. He was against it, and said he became angry even by Elijah Muhammad mentioning it. So since he insisted, he gave it to him anyway. And we know what Aaron would do. He would turn the people, have them serve, which would go to the calf, turn people away from Moses' teachings, so much so, right, that at the end, right, Moses had him and all his followers, his family, all of them killed. It's right there, Exodus. It's a simple read. So how could you be confused? Because he said, well, that's Wallace. No, it said it would be Aaron. Wallace was never Elijah Muhammad's spokesman. Farrakhan was. He admits Elijah Muhammad said he'd be his worst hypocrite. There's no way you should be deceived by him. So that means either an idiot or you're a demon. See? Now, I'm not blaming these brothers and sisters that got caught up. Because there's a lot of brothers and sisters in there that ain't with Farrakhan. They in there, but not with him. The scriptures tell us that's the truth. Because as soon as they saw Suleiman, they ran to him. As soon as they saw Suleiman, they ran to him. See? They got away from Farrakhan. Because bad water is better than no water. So they was in there. It was better being in there than being out, hanging out, eating chitlins and all the other stuff that was going on. So we're not blaming them, because they said that would happen. And I've already met some, and some brothers that you know, sisters you know about, some you don't know about. That's come and support this message, right? One way or the other. See? Because as soon as they heard it, Farrakhan hired Farrakhan like he was hot manure. Even faster. Because that's what he is. Hot shit. You can smell him a mile away if you got any sense of smell. He's sick. He's cursed. It tells you Malachi he's cursed. It says, will a man rob God? He says, you have robbed this whole nation. He's not talking about, remember, he's talking about Elijah there. He's talking about Elijah's nation. He's talking about America. Because America's to be destroyed in the whole thing. So he says, you're not robbing America. You're robbing the Nation of Islam. So who is robbing the Nation of Islam? It says, tell you what you're robbing with tilts and offerings. That means the money that you've given to the Nation of Islam for the purpose of the Nation of Islam, right? You're not using it for that. You're using it for your own purposes. And that's exactly what Farrakhan's doing. He's not using that money to build anything in the Nation of Islam. He's built a damn thing in 4 years. So, oh, you got the mosque back with. Hey, that way. First of all, he's in Sunnism anyway, because mosque, it was a temple. Elijah Muhammad had temples. It was it's mosque now, mosque Maryam. And he said, you got the restaurant back. Have you been there? See, most of you don't know about the real restaurant, the Salon restaurant. It was on the corner, right? It was on the main thoroughfare. Everybody could see it was beautiful. He got some little place in the alleyway, because when I went there a few years back, still recovering from this COVID a little bit. I went looking for the place. I went where I thought it was going to be. It wasn't there. I'm looking. I'm driving up now. And I said, "You know where the Islam restaurant is?" This guy said, "Yeah, it's right down." He pointed to this alleyway. You go through this alleyway, there's some little motif, Arabic motif thing, right? Sitting back in back in the alleyway somewhere, and they got Mexicans. They're the ones that's serving the food. It was terrible. Food was terrible. When Elijah Muhammad had the food was first class, right? And all brothers worked in there. All brothers worked in there. They got Mexicans working there. I ain't saying anything against the Mexicans. I'm just saying, right? And he gonna tell you, he built back better. Okay, look at, if you can find a Muhammad, I have a copy, Muhammad Speaking newspaper. Look at Muhammad Speaking newspaper. If you need, I got a whole album. I used to be a foreman at Muhammad Speaking newspaper. They burned up all that stuff, right? I was there. And look at the back of that and all the temples Elijah Muhammad had, real temples, not study groups, all over the country. And look at so-called final call, and look at the temple, the so-called mosques they have all over the country. Ain't no comparison. And most of the so-called mosques dried up, closed up, and the rest of them are just study groups, 5 or 10 people. And they only have a place for themselves. Because the one they had in Tampa, right, it was a school, somebody let them, a school room at night, and you were sitting in those little baby chairs in a kindergarten room. That was their meeting place. That was Tampa, a major city. About 5 or 10, maybe 15 people at the most, right? A major city in a damn study group. And the one in Orlando dried up, and now they don't have, and the one in Tallahassee, that was gone. So now they said they got one in Miami, but they tell me that's gone too. So if that's the case, they don't have any major representation in Florida, a major state. And they're going to tell me he's done better than Elijah? No, he has not. He hasn't done a damn thing. He's being destroyed because it says the son of perdition who would be consumed, who the Lord will consume to Suleiman with spit of his mouth. That's what's happening right now because the truth being told him because he never had anybody exposed like I'm doing. And destroyed with the bites of his coming, which is very soon. Oh, he's going to be destroyed totally. But it says he was cursed with a curse. It says, he's going to say, will a man, talking about a man, person, will a man rob God? It says, you have robbed this whole nation of tithes and offerings. That means things that's supposed to went to the nation, went to your pockets. Because you haven't produced a damn thing. You have nothing to show for it, but you claim that you're doing an economic program. What economic program? Have anybody seen it anywhere? Is that in the spiritual zone where everything else is? Where the jinn and the angels and everybody else is in that spiritual zone? Because they're telling you God's a man, and they're lying about that. Because they don't believe that. How in the world if God's a man, then first before he finished telling you this God's everybody's womb making babies. Because we don't have those, we have nothing to do with that, man and woman. See? So he's in the womb doing that. Because he's reading the Quran backwards. They got the NOI backwards. And so he's talking that backwards analytical crap that he has. That's what his Quran says. No one understands it, but those firmly rooted in knowledge, right? And Allah himself. And Farrakhan is definitely not firmly rooted in knowledge. He doesn't know about the creation. I guarantee it. He couldn't even tell you what a derivative is in calculus. I guarantee he can't do it. I bet my life on it. See? I guarantee his mathematics is limited to multiplication. I bet he probably don't even know algebra. He's not a mathematician. He's a bullshit philosopher. He's pull shit out of his ass and tell you it's honey. And most of you eating it. And you can, you should be able to detect the smell by now. He's a no good demon. The biology tells you. He admitted his father's a devil. He admitted his father raped his mother. That's why he tried to abort him. And now he's trying to cover that up. Talking about his father was Jamaican. Jamaican is a nationality, not ethnicity. See? Yeah, he was Jamaican, just like, for instance, if an African come in America, he says, I'm American, that's his nationality. If he lives in America, that's not his ethnicity, he's still African. That doesn't change his ethnicity. So his father said, oh, he was Jamaican, he was a light-skinned Jamaican. No, that's not what he told originally. He said his father's mother and father were white, Portuguese, probably Jews. So if that was his mother, if that was his father's mother and father, that's what they were, that's what his father is. So he's trying to cover up now. They're trying to tell you this lie that slave master told you, well, any black blood makes you black. It might make you black, it don't make you original. I keep exposing him, so he runs another rock. Every time I pull a rock up, expose, he runs another rock. He's running out of rocks, Farrakhan. In fact, with that wheelchair, you can't get to him fast enough anymore, can you? See? And plus, you can't remember what rock you just left from because it's telling you you're senile, right? See? Which 80-some years old, you're senile, you never exercise or anything anyway. Plus, you're disemboweled, you're pissing shit in the bag. That's why it says you'll be cursed with a curse. It says you are cursed with a curse because you're robbing God. You're robbing this whole nation. That's what you've been doing. You've been taking all the energy that you can get from this, and you haven't given anything back but bullshit. Scientology, Sunniism, and all this crap. You haven't produced anything. You're giving Master everything Master wanted. Master says, oh, well, we got to stop them from this racial hatred. Okay, not devils ain't devils anymore. We got to stop this national. We ain't going nowhere, this nationality thing, right? Okay, well, we ain't going nowhere. We're going to stay here. See, and we got to stop them. You know, turn them into a self improvement. Okay, we got Scientology. He gave everything they wanted because he's owned by them. See. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if his driver's license has his slave name on it, his official papers. I would not be surprised. That might be his Facebook name too. See, Elijah Muhammad gave out names, but everybody didn't change their name officially. See? They kept slave master's name. And they used that. That was the Islamic name. That's what they call it. The Islamic name. No, if your name is your name or not. I would not be surprised if you look at the driver's license, it says Louis Eugene Grounds. I would not be surprised if it said on there. I would not be surprised. Those are demons. So you got these rappers, okay, athletes, right? They're rich. And they claim they know, they're going to tell you all this advice. They be role models. They tell you all this stuff. They're going to tell you, oh, how you should do this, how you should do that. And role models give us information. But why they walk around, if they so wise, why they walk around with masters' names? That represents ownership. They're saying, they tell you that they descended from master's line because they're master's seed, or they're telling you, right, that master them bent over, right, and butt broke them and they like it. They've been butt broke and they like it. That's what they're telling you. Because if you know all that stuff was done, you know, all that stuff was done to your parents, your grandparents, everything else by Master Jones, and now you're gonna walk around and call yourself Robert Jones? And that don't click with you? No, it won't click with you if you're an idiot. It won't click with you if you're a demon. You don't know how sick that is. I met this guy one time, right? Hispanic guy. He was telling me that he was in prison, right? And he says the wing when he was in or whatever, he had no homies, so they raped him. He admitted it. So they said they made him their little thing while he was in there. Said, well, nothing he could do about it. He wanted to live. But he was out now. He said, I ain't about that. I ain't about none of that. Right? So I couldn't help it there. But he got out. He says, hey, he had none, and he's for real. See? So I'm saying, he and us, I might did things differently. I know everybody do things differently. So we just say, rather give their life for it. Just, I'm not gonna let that happen to me, right? They tied me down, but what can you do? But the point is that once he was out of that situation, he jumped out of that quick as he could. He disowned that, got away from it. He didn't come out and say, "Oh man, I was butt broken in prison, so I might as well, indulge a little here or just go all in." So once they say take the chains off of you, and you still walking around, talking, acting, that means they got chains on your mind. You still here. You're still with them. Because either you're a demon, like these preachers out here, because none of these preachers, they went to a seminary and everything, then they got to get a license to preach. So it means they got to be authorized what they say. Because they say something they ain't supposed to say, they lose their license. See, you got to say, be very careful. Because they master seed, they're master's children, and their whole idea was to make you stay out there in the field, working hard for master. Because the better master did, the better the dogs did. The better master did, the better dogs did, and you was basically their dogs. You were owned by them. You might have been master's children, but you was allowed to be in master's house. Why? Because he knew he could trust you more than he trusted because you had the same mind he had. Only difference is you had just different skin tone. But he thought just like master did. And you was on master's side. You were just upset because master didn't accept you like he accepted other children that same skin tone as master. And we saw that play out during the so-called civil rights movement. Because all they wanted to do is recognize by master. Master, I'm your child. Accept me in your house, accept me in 100%. I don't just want to be a house Negro. I want to be accepted in the family. See? So now that's what they did. That's what they want, integration. So now they married master's daughters, master's sons, and everything else. Now they're in master's house. They live with next door master and everything else. That's what they wanted. And they got away from you. They got away from the field Negroes. They got away from you. Because when I was a child and grew up in Newark, before so-called civil rights, the doctors, lawyers, and all that was black and everything. They all lived right next door to you. In the same building. If you're in the apartment building. Right? All their businesses right there. You knew them. Soon as the door opened, master opened the door, they ran to master's house and slammed the door and left your ass out in the field. And you know that's the truth. Because that's what they wanted. But they use you. Oh, come on, help us get these civil rights. See? And once they got what they wanted, they got rid of you. They went, oh man, we done messed them with Muslims. See? Look at them nigga over there, man. Calling himself Naomi Ali. Where you get that stupid name from? That's where they talk, and I know you heard them talk like that. Because that's where they feel. They think just like Master has got a different skin tone, and Master uses that to his advantage because they come amongst us, and their whole objective is to keep us deceived, confused, right? Keep us paying attention to music and not paying attention to lyrics. See? You're down with the, I know you see that. Rapper, oh man, this bitch, that. And his sister just saying, but she rocking with it. And he's calling all kinds of names, bitch hoes and everything else. And because she down in the music, she ain't paying attention to lyrics. And the only one you're getting this kind of information for 100% is right here. Because you're not getting this from any place else. None of these people out here telling you about Abraham Covenant, telling you the truth, telling you who the devils are, who the jinn are, who the angels are. We're identifying things, and that tells you there's some other dimension either. We point out to you who everyone is. We make everything clear to you. That's if you want clarity. But then some of you are afraid of Master, and so therefore, you're wear a big old cross. Let Master know that you still with him. Well, that red cross around your neck is going to turn into a noose in a few more days. See, you don't see me backing down, and I'm not afraid. They want to come and get me. Come on. Okay? I'm told that Master Prophet Muhammad would defend me, and I believe it. See? But I also have power to defend myself. So I have not ever asked him for his help. I don't think I'll ever need it. See? But they come down to me full force. They've come to me in full force in many different arenas. Like I said, when they had me down in Guam, the whole island was against me. I was out there broke, no money, and nothing. Nothing, had nothing, no friends, nothing, brothers, nothing. And the whole island was down against me. When I'm not literally saying it. I'd be walking, right, before they threw me in jail, right? I'd walk around, hey man, hey, they said things, I don't even know these people. Why are you still here? I don't even know these people. They're hating on me. And I didn't break any laws or anything while I was there. See? But I was able to defeat them. And you can defeat them too, once you understand, begin to get a thorough knowledge of yourself. But these demons, they're invisible. Same way an undercover agent is invisible. If you don't know who he is or she is, they're invisible to you. You can touch them, feel them, and hear them, but they're invisible because you don't recognize who they are. Once you recognize who they are, that's a whole different issue. And you just don't recognize who they are. And I'm exposing them to you. All the characters in the Bible, all of them are visible. There's no spiritual realm. If it is, prove it. And if you claim that prayer is your gateway to it, to control it, then I have to tell you, prove it. Don't be praying for a job. Don't be praying for a BMW. Pray for $1 billion. Okay, I tell you what. Get your best prayers together. Get your best prayers together. In the biggest church, get T.A. Jakes and all of them together. They so right. They so in tune with God and everything, because they always ask you for money. So all together say, get a bunch of them all and pray for $1 billion. See? No, don't go. No. Go big. Don't go small. Because you ain't gonna pray for that. You know you're gonna get it. And your prayers. And if you had a car to stop sometimes stop, some didn't. You wouldn't be confident in that car because you say your prayers. You said, well, sometime it answers, sometime it not. So how you know it was answered at all? Oh, I prayed for. How you never get that job anyway? They say, well, I thank God that I survived the accident. Well, if God was looking at you, why you had the accident to begin with? So he just put you in an accident so you can say thank him for delivering you from saving you from it. It's just stupid. See? Because they don't want you to think mathematically. That's the way your mind naturally works. Because we all are mathematicians, all original people. Because the whole universe is mathematics, everything. Everything we did, we put our signature on. We put our signature, everything that we created, mathematics. Our signature, everything. Our signature, even on our enemy. Because everything they produce, right, they have to produce it using mathematics. They have not produced anything using Christianity. They have not produced anything using Buddhism. They haven't produced anything using Hinduism. They haven't produced anything Confucianism. They haven't produced anything using any of those things. None of them. The only thing they've been able to produce is using mathematics. So if those things are realities, how come they can't produce anything with them? How come they can't bring anything to existence with them? See? Okay, I tell you what. Don't pray for $1 billion. Don't pray for a BMW. Pray for a spiritual BMW, one that don't require gas. Pray for that one. How about that one? Well, that would get everybody, wouldn't it? Because you say Jesus did miracles like you claim he was doing these special miracles. Well, he did miracles, but not the way you think. So why not produce a car that doesn't require gas or electricity, any power source? That would be a sign. Boy, that would rock everybody on the planet. Pray for that one. Why wouldn't God give you that? It runs off of spiritual gas. You say there's a spiritual ram out of there, so every time the car gets, you just hook it up to the spiritual realm and you got charged. See? Because it's all bullshit. And these demons are the ones that's working 24/7 to keep your mind thinking on that level. Either that or they blocking this light, and so they have you walk around in the darkness of their shadow. And that's all about to come to a screeching halt. It's about to crash. It's about to be crushed in a few days. In a few days. See? Because they're being crushed now. See, they're being crushed right now. They're being stress tested. They're being crushed right now. You just haven't seen the final result. It's like dropping an egg off a Empire State Building or Sears Tower. Once you drop it, the question is it broke? It's still falling, but is it broke? That's a good question, is it? Because unless some divine interventions or whatever, you know that egg is broke. It's just a matter of time before you realize it. To hit the ground, but it's broke. And America is broke. and is about to be exposed in the Middle East because America's a paper tiger now. Its power is gone. See, you understand, we were suffering energy deprivation. Energy is your power. So we had enough energy, we didn't have enough energy to power ourselves. Because you need energy for your thought, you need energy for your heart, you need energy for all your everything. So we didn't have enough energy to maintain ourselves. Right? So we lost control of ourselves. That's energy deprivation, because all the energy that we start out as intense energy. When the everything was contracted, like Quran says, the earth and the heavens were one. Then we put all the energy out there to make the stars, the moons, and the planets, and that energy wasn't here anymore. So we got down to the point where we very little energy. We were very large people, creatures in the beginning. Fierce energy like you wouldn't imagine. As the Bliss said, we was actually made of fire. That's another story altogether. But it was totally nothing like now. And now we became energy deprived. Now as the universe is contracting, now the energy is coming back. It's momentous in the heavens and earth, but it comes to you but of a sudden. So now it's coming back. See? But while we're suffering energy deprivation, we don't have enough energy to maintain civilization. Because if you don't have enough energy to maintain yourself, that means you don't have enough. It takes energy to maintain civilization, to have the unity. It takes energy for everything, to blink your eyes, to smell, to think. Anything that happens, every action has an opposite equal reaction. Every action requires energy, because that's all there is energy, and action is just energy, right? Interreacting. So it requires energy for everything, to think, sleep, everything. So when we became energy deprived, then we gave Dr. Yakub, right? Say we were Lamborghinis. Okay, what he did was he went and took and stripped down version, took all the parts out and just ended up with a Volkswagen Beetle. Still a car, still moves around, but it's a very cheap version. It runs off cheap gas. They can eat pork and everything else. But they don't require that much energy. So now they had disposable energy, so to speak. So that energy, disposable energy, was enough to rule. That's the whole story of Adam. That was enough for them to get them to rule, right, in our absence. They couldn't rule as well as we did because they didn't have enough the energy that we had, but they could rule because we could not anymore. They didn't have the energy to do it. That's the whole story about Adam. You read the one in the Quran and the one in the Bible also. He was given rule for 6,000 years during that transition period between expansion and contraction. But now the universe is, because he was creating haste. He was creating that period of high tension. He was creating haste. That's what it's talking about. So now the universe is contracting, the pressure is building. He cannot withstand it because he was built in a low pressure period, right, tension period. Now the pressure is increasing. He cannot withstand it. So at one point it becomes too great and it just crushes him. It just crushes him. And that's what's happening now. See? But when you understand energy like that, he had the energy, right? But our thoughts, right, require energy. But he's operating an analytical mind, which was shallow thought. So his control was based on how much energy he had, not his thought power. His control was based on his having that excess energy, right, that he didn't need to maintain himself. So he thought that was because his wisdom, it was because his luck. Energy is your luck. If you got positive energy, you have good luck. Have negative energy, you have bad luck. He was ruling because of positive energy, which is luck. But he interpreted that as wisdom. He interpreted that as wisdom. Oh, he was ruling because he's so wise. No, because he was lucky. He was lucky in battle, lucky in everything he did. But he interpreted that as being wise, wisdom, which it was not. Hold on, brothers and sisters. 1 second here. 1 second here. Apologies, had a little visitor. Anyway, he was ruling us through luck, but he interpreted it as wisdom. Because he had that extra energy, and we didn't have enough energy to maintain ourselves. That's how we end up over here in total abject slavery, because we had no control of ourselves. We had lost it because we lost control of civilization and control of ourselves. So they took advantage of that. But they wasn't supposed to do that, what they did. We were supposed to submit to them, right, which we did. But they wasn't supposed to abuse us. It said in the Quran, go not near that tree, lest you be unjust. They did it anyway. There's also told in the Bible, do not mess with the tree of knowledge of good and evil. You need to understand the angel, understand what that means. Told us, don't mess with us. Don't get, because when you consume something, you take it out of existence. Told not to do it, they're going to try to do it anyway. They said, because if you do it, the day you do it, you will die. And now they're in the process of trying to do that. They're in the process of trying to get rid of us now. You don't understand it. And I don't speak on it directly because I don't want them to know how much I know. Because if I speak on it directly, then they'll just switch up and find another way. But they actually try, in the process, try to destroy. It says right there, let us destroy them, destroy the name of Israel, cut them off from ever being a nation. So the demons, their children, that they plant all over the world, has the same situation they have. Because they had, by being demons, they have a color, a skin tone, right? But by nature, they were same as devils, so they required less energy also. So they had, that's what they call Nephilims, I think they call in the Bible. So they were giants. I don't mean they were giants in stature. They was giants because they was more powerful. That's the kind of giants they meant. They was more powerful. Master Muhammad is one else himself. He's not a demon though, because he's original on he's original on his parent side, on his father's side, parental. So he's one too. But he's powerful because he doesn't suffer energy deprivation either. Because he's got a stripped down body, but he's got an original mind. So they got stripped down, they got stripped down bodies and stripped down minds, but demons, right, they got stripped down mind, right? They got original body, so therefore that curves some of their energy. They don't have as much as daddy has, but they have more than we have. So that's why they excel. Oprah and all, they excel because they're demons. They got more energy than you have. That's why they excel. That's why, it's no secret. And that's why they all love daddy. They all work for daddy. They don't change their names. Because that is their names. See? And but what I'm saying about, they was interpreting that as being wisdom, because we got control, look how wise we are. No, they got control because the luck they had. See, you can go to Las Vegas, right? And you can be lucky and you can be smart. Most people say, I'd rather be lucky than to be smart. Because you can be smart and still lose. If you're lucky, you're going to win. Some people rather be lucky than smart. You can be smart and poor and lose. See? But if you're lucky, you win. So they was lucky. And that's the problem. That's part of their downfall. Because now they think that, now remember, their luck has run out. Because at 2020, their luck had run out. Then in a judgment. That was a signal their luck had run out. Actually, officially, it ran out in 1948. But that's another story. But their luck has run out. And that's why I have all this confusion. Because all that wisdom, they thought there was wisdom, they applied, it's not working. All that wisdom they thought they had is not working. Because they never had it. They had luck. And now luck is gone. And now they go into battle thinking they got all this wisdom, all this strategy, all this, technical stuff, all this, the study war and everything else. They don't go in, but they have no luck. And the wisdom they have is not work because they never had wisdom to begin with. All they had was luck to begin with. But they thought there was wisdom because of wisdom. But it's wisdom because of luck. Their luck has run out. It's no more. Hope you understand. But they was doing it because of their wisdom. So now they go out there and they have no luck and their wisdom is not working. Because it wasn't wisdom to begin with, it was just luck. Same thing with these demons. See? They're being crushed and they've been crushed along with Master, and they finally be crushed out of existence, because Master's going to crush them out of existence before he finally gets crushed out of existence. He's going to crush the demon. They're going to be the cause of his downfall. Oh, the demons are going to cause of Master's downfall. They're going to be the cause of it, because Master will not accept them. He tells you, unless you 100% white, you can't be considered Caucasian. So what's he telling you? That's racist in and of itself. So you got to be pure. You got to be thoroughbred to be one of us. Anything else is just mutts. So you're a person of color, and you don't understand what's going on there. And that includes his children, because even when his children, they was his children, and he let them out of his house. They were still niggas to him. They might have been his children. They were still niggas. They was his own children, his blood. You understand, brothers and sisters? So the demons they're going to be crushed too. Farrakhan, the main chief demon, he's going to be crushed right along with them. But once their God, Satan, is taken down by our God, Master Prophet Muhammad. See, you got a clash between the two gods. The God of this world and the God of the world to come. What a clash. See, because he got Gog and Magog. See, he's got Gog and Magog. Two most powerful on the world. Gog and Magog control the world. The ram with two horns, right? Sun never sets on the British Empire, right? They control the nation, rock the nations. See, they rock the nations. See, put the nation on their knees. See, they rock the earth. See, and they're Satan, their God, right? They set him up over there on the throne in Jerusalem and worship him and made the world worship him. If you don't worship his right to exist, right? They sanctioned you. That was talking about you would not be able to buy or sell. That's very simple stuff. See, you're going to get this mark. No, it's already happening. If you don't obey America and obey false Israel, they sanction you. Isn't that stopping from buying and selling? They catch you, well, man, the Antichrist is coming. He's going to put a mark. It's already in there. It's happening right now. We think that's false Israel right now. And Gog and Magog. If you don't go along with it, you get sanctioned. They won't let you buy or sell anything. That's why demons, right, they ain't changing their name. See, because they got the mark. It says they had a mark. And they all down for Israel, false Israel. And make it clear enough for you. They're all demons. They got the mark. Because they want to please Master. I'm not talking about the vipers and the sellouts, those that hearts turn cold and decide they're going to abuse our people and exploit our people, turn on our people. You got those too. Excuse me. You got those too. You got those too. We're going to deal with them. That's going on right now. 666. It's been going on since 48. If you don't worship false Israel, what you mean worship? That means accept their right to exist. They're false. They're fake. Then you get sanctioned, or you get taken over. You get killed. That's what it says would happen to you. And demons they're all for false Israel. We're not anti-Semitic. You can't be Semitic anyway because they're not Semites. Semites are Isaac and Ishmael. That's the Arabs and us over here. That's why they call them desert niggers over there, because they know they're our brothers. Though they turned on us, they're still our brothers, but they turned on us. And we're going to deal with them. But they're still family. But we see how that works out. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters, these demons, they're a plague, trying to get you to understand them. See? Now, if you're still inundated or overcome by them, you're still overcome by their music, not paying attention to the lyrics, that's on you. But in a few more days, and I really mean a few more days, your whole idea, your whole reality, your mindset, your everything is going to change. Your psychology, it's all going to change in a few more days. because false Israel is about to be taken down, and the demons about to be taken down. Our God against their God. Master Muhammad is getting ready to take out their God, Satan. Goliath. That story, David and Goliath. Nobody could deal with Goliath. He was scared of him. But David stepped up with his 5 stones. You understand the injury? I'll talk about that. Maybe I'll talk about it again. Took him out. Our God, Master Muhammad is getting ready to take out their God, Satan. See? And the high priest over here, Farrakhan, says Suleiman, the true high priest, Joshua, he's about to take him out. Aaron, because he's the top demon. So the God's been taken out, and first the God's been taken out, Satan, right? And then their demon children's about to be taken out. And then they're gonna be taken out. See, we send death and Hades after them. That's that goat. See? Brothers and sisters, when the ice breaks, like I said, when a woman's pregnant, when the water breaks, that's all. That's it. You know what's going to happen right after that? The war's about to break. Because Master Muhammad's getting ready to take out false Israel. When it happens, everything's going to change. Your whole mindset's going to change. Reality is going to change. Because that's the basis of this false reality. That's why you see it over there. See, you got them in the east, and you got Suleiman in the west. See, 2 realities in conflict with each other. And Master Muhammad's getting ready to take that gear on the right out, because that's the only thing that's locking up this gear. You got 2 gears opposing each other; they lock each other up. If you take out one, the other starts spinning fast. So one got enough energy to go 100 miles an hour. No one got enough energy to go 100 miles an hour all direction. But they locked in, the teeth are locked in, so neither one are moving. And once you pull one out, that's not moving 100 miles an hour. That means once false Israel was gone, we were born overnight. Will a nation be born in a day? Who ever heard of such a thing? Come together just that fast. Things going to move so fast, and now you're going to keep up with it. That's why if you're not paying attention to what we're talking about now, something's going to be lost, because they move so fast. If you ain't up to it, you're going to be left behind, because nobody is going to take and wait for you. Because once the abomination of desolation, right, is exposed and it goes down, it tells you to flee. No one's going to tell anything about wait for somebody or help somebody or get a wheelchair or grab. No, it says flee. Nobody's going to wait for you. If you ain't got it by then, you're going to be lost. Master Muhammad is moving fast. I'm trying to pick up your speed so you keep up with him. Because he's going to make all things new. So you're either part of the new or you're part of what he made the new out of. You know how that works, right? That means you're part of the ingredients. So you get mixed in. So you know, you want to be the cake or the part of the ingredients. You see? So you're going to be the material he's going to make the new world out of, or you're going to be the new world that's made out of the material? Trying to get you up to speed, brothers and sisters. Master Muhammad is moving fast. He's a fast-moving God. He's not playing. He got Elijah Muhammad up to speed. You saw how fast Elijah Muhammad moved. Little short man, 3rd grade educated. Look how fast he moved, and look how much he did. He wasn't playing. He was moving fast. I'm moving fast. You never got this much information from one person in your life, and everything I've said, you can prove it. Everything I've told you, you can prove it. We talk about everything from atoms to stars to fusion to fission, right? To photons to gravity to the creation to evolution to the scripture, to the 5 fundamental principles of Islam, to energy deprivation, all that stuff and more. Ours recount the origin of it, all of it. You never get this from any place else. You never got it from one person, ever. And you know it. And everything I've said, we can prove it 100%. Anybody challenges me, I can always prove everything I've said 100%. And plus, forget knife. We're not even talking about breaking the 5, 7 seals. No one's been able to touch it. And anyone that's been studying angel knows that no one out there, I don't care where you find on the internet, even get one verse right. Farrakhan, he can't get one verse right. And stupid Ishmael, his spokesman, he's a total idiot. So this is the source. And no one's telling you the truth like I'm telling you the truth. No one's telling the truth at all, actually. The only one that's telling the truth here is myself, and I'm giving it to you 100%. And it's not costing you a dime. They're charging you. Oh, pay, give scripture, subscribe. It's not costing you a dime because it's you. Because you already paid for it, brothers and sisters. These guys are, well, a man robbed God? He's trying to pay for something you already paid for? You paid 464 years, 65 years to get this truth. Now you're getting it. It's free to you. Free gift. That's what it says in Angel. It's a free gift. You have to pay for it. No one's ever give me a dime, and neither has I've asked you for a dime. And if anybody goes, will check my history of 30 years, over 30 years, I never asked anybody for a dime, not one time. But I've been steady giving you information. And I don't have to keep repeating all the time. I can always, every time I come, I give you new information all the time. Because there's so much and so much more to give. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. War talk. Demons. They're about to go. The chief demons is being taken down here in a few days. Master from Muhammad. The two gods are getting ready to clash over in the Middle East. Goliath and David. Master from Muhammad and Satan. They're getting ready to clash. They're getting ready to take down their God. Going to leave God and make God without a God. And the ghost going to come and clean them up. And I'm about to take down the chief priest over here, the demon priest, the chief minister. I'm going to take him down over here. Said, son of perdition, who the Lord will consume with the spirit of his mouth. You don't need no guns, just the truth, and destroy with the brightness of his coming, which is about to happen. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum.